Imagine a small, unassuming office in the heart of Paris, France. It is May 21, 1904. Seven men stand around a wooden table, signing a document that many believe will not succeed. They are creating an organization called FIFA. At this moment, they have very limited money, little power, and no global recognition. Yet they are about to launch a movement that will eventually capture the hearts of billions of people. How did a small group of dreamers in Paris turn a simple game into one of the most powerful, wealthy, and influential sporting organizations on earth? This is not just a story about football, it is a story of global ambition, intense rivalry, and a relentless quest for unity. Today, we look at the incredible rise of FIFA, the Federation International, the Football Association. This organization did not just govern a sport, it reshaped global sports culture, crossed political borders, and created a global culture that unites people across every continent. Our story begins in a divided Europe. In the late 19th century, football is growing fast, but it lacks organization. Every country has its own rules. There is no central authority. The English believe they own the game because they codified it, and they hesitate to cooperate with the rest of Europe. This creates a challenging situation. Robert Guerin, a French journalist, decides that the world cannot wait. He writes letters, travels across borders, and gathers representatives from France, Belgium, Denmark, the Netherlands, Spain, Sweden, and Switzerland. On that historic day in Paris, they signed the Foundation Act. The goal is simple but incredibly bold. One single organization to rule global football. The English are absent, watching from across the channel, highly skeptical of this new project. But the founders of FIFA do not give up. They possess a quiet determination. They know that football has a unique power, a power to speak to the common worker, the youth, and the masses. Yet, the early years are incredibly difficult. FIFA has no stadium, no major tournaments, and very limited funds. In 1906, they try to organize their first international tournament, but it fails to attract teams. Robert Gavin, deeply disappointed by the setback, steps down. The dream seems to fade before it has even truly begun. Then enters a man who will change everything. Daniel Burley Woolford. An Englishman becomes the president. He helps strengthen ties with the English Football Association, which had already joined FIFA. Suddenly, FIFA gains stronger backing from the creators of the game. Football is included in 1908 Olympic Games in London. The crowds are growing, the energy is electric, and the world is beginning to pay attention. But just as FIFA begins to grow, global events intervene. In 1914, a massive global conflict begins. The very nations that sat at the FIFA table are now divided by geopolitical struggles. The dream of global unity is poised, and FIFA faces its greatest test when the global conflict finally ends in 1918. Deep divisions remain. Many believe international sports cannot recover. Some nations withdraw from FIFA, refusing to play against their former adversaries. It is a dark time. The organization is struggling financially and lacks clear leadership. In 1921, a visionary named Jules Rimet takes control. He is a man of peace, a French lawyer who believes that football can heal the divisions of the world. According to historical records, Rime believed that sports can bring young people of all nations together in friendly competition. He looks at the globe and sees a grand vision. He does not just want a European tournament, he wants a World Cup. The obstacles are massive. How do you transport teams across oceans in an era before commercial flights? How do you fund such a massive journey? The wealthy European nations declined to host it, claiming it is too expensive. But across the Atlantic Ocean, a small, prosperous South American nation steps forward. Uruguay. Uruguay offers to pay for the travel and accommodation of all participating teams. They also promise to build a giant new stadium, the Estadio Centenario, in the capital city of Montevideo. Jules Rimet accepts the offer. The stage is set for the very first FIFA World Cup in 1930. But tensions rises once again. The European teams are concerned about the long two-week journey by ship across the Atlantic. Many refuse to go. Only 4 European teams agreed to board the SSS Conteverde, a ship that carries Jules Rimet, the Gold World Cup trophy, and the players across the ocean. The journey is long and filled with anticipation. The players practice on the deck of the ship, looking out at the endless water, wondering what awaits them. When they arrive in Montevideo, the atmosphere is magnificent. The passion of the South American fans is like nothing the Europeans have ever seen. The tournament is highly competitive, and the rivalry between Uruguay and Argentina grows intense. This brings us to the ultimate peak of FIFA's early history, the 1930 World Cup final. It is July 30, 1930. The stadium is packed with over 90,000 excited fans. The tension is incredibly high, so much that the referee requests security measures to ensure a safe departure after the match. The teams cannot even agree on which ball to use. In a historic compromise, Argentina uses their ball in the first half and Uruguay uses theirs in the second half. The match is a brilliant display of emotion, skill, and determination. Argentina leads at halftime, but in the second half, playing with their own ball, the Uruguayans rise to the challenge. They score 3 goals, winning the match 4-2. The stadium explodes in celebration. Uruguay is the champion of the world. Jules Rimet walks onto the pitch and presents the golden trophy to the Uruguayan captain. At that exact moment, the World Cup is no longer just a tournament. It is a global phenomenon. FIFA has succeeded against all odds. Over the next decades, FIFA's rise is unstoppable. They navigate through further global challenges and expand to Asia, Africa, and North America. It would take decades and the rise of television for FIFA to truly dominate global audiences. By the late 20th century, they transformed into a multi-billion-dollar international organization, bringing in global sponsors and massive television audiences. Football becomes the most watched sport on the planet, drawing billions of viewers together. Today, FIFA represents over 200 member nations, more than the United Nations. The journey from that small, quiet office in Paris to the grand stadiums of the modern world is one of the most remarkable stories of growth. The lesson of this incredible rise is simple. Passion can bridge the deepest differences. The founder of FIFA had no military power and no great wealth. They only had a ball and a dream. They proved that people from completely different cultures, languages, and backgrounds can meet on a green field and share the same joy. It teaches us that when we play by the same rules, respect our opponents, and work together, we can achieve something truly historic. But as the story reaches its end, we are reminded of a powerful historical truth. The birth of this new global football community happened at the time of profound transformation. In the early 20th century, as seven men in Paris were signing the paper to birth FIFA, the Ottoman Empire, which had ruled over three continents for 6 centuries, was fracturing and fading into the past. How did this legendary empire finally collapse as the modern world was being born? Click on this video right now to know how the Ottoman Empire rose and fell.